Hello, everyone. We are live. We are so live. We are coming all the way from the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago in the house, and St. Vincent.
St. Vincent, but I'm in Toronto, but St. Vincent
I
in the
know.
house for sure.
Listen, let's not take it away from us. We are from the Caribbean, people.
Yes, yes.
Washington, D.C., and Canada. Yes. My beautiful sister, Suzette Williams, is here to grace my interview stage today. And we welcome you today, Miss Suzette. Thank you for being here this afternoon and giving us some time. So first, let's get started. Thank you for everyone that is viewing us right now. Welcome all our viewers. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. So let's get it started. Miss Suzette, introduce to our lovely audience who you are.
Well, thank you so much, Kim, for having me here today. Let me say that first. And welcome to all of you who are viewing us live. And for those of you who come on afterwards, thank you for joining this broadcast today. So, my name is Suzette. And like Kim just said, I'm from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, so Caribbean in the house for sure. But I do live in Toronto, Canada. I migrated there about 12 years ago, and I'm a single mom of three. I have an adult daughter and one teenage and preteen son.
Mm.
And they are my world. They're my everything. And like my caption says, I'm an online business owner. I'm a mentor, and I'm also an online business coach.
Oh, that is beautiful. Thank you for all that. You have a grown daughter. Beautiful. So let's get the question started because we are very curious about you. So, what was your profession? We are going to set the stage. So, now what was your profession before, starting this online journey, Miss Suzette?
Yeah, so I worked in finance like all of my adult life.
Hmm.
Just prior to starting my business, I was working at one of Canada's top five banks as a financial advisor. So my background is in finance. Done it for what, over 26 years.
Wow.
So it's been a long standing career there. So that's what I did prior to starting my business. I don't do it anymore, and we'll get into that a little bit later.
Beautiful. Thank you for letting us know. So, Miss Suzette, so you were in the financial business. So, what was the turning factor? You can share with us, what was the reason for you to leave for me, I used to look at people working in the financial world was having a great job. Something is a great career to have. Would you be able, or would you like to share with our audience what was the reason, not your personal, but what was the turning factor that caused you to leave such a good job to turn to become a online businesswoman?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Kim. It's like coming from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you work in the bank, and people's like, oh my God, she got a good job. She got a big
Mm-hmm.
job, you know? So it is a great job. And,
Mm-hmm.
I love my career. However, working in the financial institutions it's very stressful. But apart from that, like I said, I was a financial advisor. And I also said that I'm a single mom. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that meant that I have a single income household. So even though I had a good pay from the work I was doing, the question is, was it enough? And in Toronto, it's super, super expensive to live here. And sometimes people think you migrate to North America and whatever, streets of gold, money grow on trees. I don't know, but you're gonna be living it up. You're gonna have it all. But it's very expensive to live in the city of Toronto, and rent is super high, the food prices are high. And so I found myself in a situation where I'm just living paycheck to paycheck. And even beyond that, the North American lifestyle of living on credit living on credit, getting the credit cards, and you have to utilize them. And that's just a way of living. And it really is not the way that I wanted to just spend out the rest of my time, where I'm just going paycheck to paycheck, credit card debts, paying credit cards, getting deeper and deeper in debt as the time went by. And I also wanted to be able to own a home, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you can't save anything. And I think about it, my kids are growing up and they want to go to college. And even before that, there's a sort of lifestyle here where, when we have the winter months, and a lot of people, they take their little vacations, they go to Mexico, Dominican Republic, someplace in the Caribbean to get away. And then during the summer, there's always some travel time. And then my kids would go back to school and they're like, well, what did you do for summer? What did you do for winter? You
Mm-hmm.
know, and whereas their friends are being like, okay, we went to Mexico, they didn't go anywhere, right? And they want to go to places. So just being able to provide that for them, I knew that I needed to get another source of income. But then
Yes.
there's a challenge to that too, right? Because that would mean getting another job, which is longer hours, more time away from home, more time away from the kids. And I migrated here. So who am I leaving my kids with when I go to these other jobs? So that is in itself presented a challenge. And so that is why, the online business was such a great fit for me, because with this business, I can do it from home. So I don't need to be away from my children to earn that additional income. And so that was the high point for me there. But that in a nutshell, among other things, I could
Right.
say reasons all day, but
I,
but
I'm sure you
with major
can.
reasons for sure.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Just like, you know, the majority of our audience, or the majority of people that may send requests or interest in the business, are single moms, stay at home moms, mom that work in 2 and 3 jobs. So you are showing them that it is possible to do this. A lot of us, we pursue after our degrees, after the license, and everything that we need, everything that we know is right to get things done for our employers. We work hard,
Mhm.
we put in our hours on our jobs, but at the end of it all, it's just not enough. It's not enough to take care of our finances, to take care of our children, and also we will just keep exchanging our time in exchange for money, and at the end of it all, we are losing out with our kids.
Yeah.
And as you said, being in a strange country, it is hard to just leave your kids with anyone. So you had to make a choice, either to constantly just hold on to the job until something became better. That's where you found this online business. So how did you find this online business?
So I was actually looking for something that I could do, because I knew I needed that extra income. And I was thinking business, because I wasn't thinking getting another job, because, like I said, going away from the kids, I didn't want to have to do that. But it's like, what kind of business can I do, And, I'm here and I'm thinking maybe I can send stuff back to St. Vincent, get one of my siblings to sell it. But even doing something like that, it comes with its challenges, right? Sometimes you think you can trust people and you can't even trust them, then you run into more problems than where you started.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was constantly thinking, what can I do? What can I do? And I did some other businesses in the past, even prior to migrating. When I was back in St. Vincent, I did some stuff, but I didn't want to get into anything like that, because, again, it took a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and the return was very small. And so I kept trying to figure out what to do. And it was 2020, the pandemic had started, and I got sick and I was at home. And at that point, you know how it was. We were all online now, and we were all cooking up a storm and baking up a storm because you're stuck in the house, right? And one day I came across an ad in my newsfeed as I was scrolling through my page on social media. And it was a couple, and they were saying, hey, we're in the church and we were able to sponsor this youth for the church for this program, and we were in beautiful Mexico on the beach or whatever, and they were talking about this business, and I was like, this sounds interesting, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't even check it out. It piqued my interest, but then after that I saw another ad from someone else, and one of the things that stuck out to me, they were saying, I just bought this home thanks to the fact that I started this business. Me and my husband was able to purchase this house. So that kind of got me more interested, because I'm sitting there, you know, I'm working in the bank, I'm helping people with their mortgages, and I don't know when I could afford a mortgage myself, right? So I'm like, well, if they're doing this business, and I picked up that it was the same business that the other people were talking about, I'm like, well, if they're doing this business and it helped them to buy a house, this is something I should totally check out, right? And so online business, this was the first time I was considering it, and I clicked on that ad that I saw, and I got the information, and you know, it just totally blew me away what the offer was, and I
Mm,
didn't hesitate. I literally jumped in. I was scared, yes, skeptical, yes, but you know, when I looked at it, like, even if I suffered a loss because I was checking this out, it was totally worth it for what I could gain. Like what I
mm,
could gain when I saw in that moment, what I could gain was more than what I could lose. So I just went for it. Um, and here I am today. Absolutely no regrets, right? It was a totally right choice. So
yes.
um yeah, I can tell you, like, this business has like totally changed my life, and the benefits that I've received since starting, is such a blessing. It's such a blessing.
Great. Thanks for sharing. You kind of answered one of my question as to how long have you been doing this business?
So it's been 3 years now. So 2020 is
3 years.
now three full years. So the time is going quickly too.
I know, right? You know, you mentioned something about you know, you were trying to start other things, you know, other ventures, and you know, trying to, because of number one, you had your kids and they depended on you. They depended on the decision that you made as their mother, as their source of the one that is going to take care of them. And
Security. Hmm.
you took that time to research what you believe would be beneficial for you, something that would not take away from, you know, spending that time with your kids, not having to spend more money on the outside. You were researching, you did your research, and you came up to, you found this business. And sometimes, you know, people don't, you know, take that time to do research before they judge. That's basically one of the things I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just judge by what
Mhm.
they assume or what it looks like, without taking a further step to see, hey, I can stand here, without thinking,
Absolutely.
okay, if I step forward, I would fall. So, you know,
It,
it's, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know, Kim, sometimes it's just like sometimes people like to ask like a lot of questions up front. They question and they question, they question,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and sometimes that is not what it takes, because
Mm-hmm.
you have to really, sometimes you take things at face value as well, right? You have to do
Mm-hmm.
that. And like, since I've been doing this business, what I found is like people would inquire, they would be looking for something, they need something, and they would come across this business, but then what I see is that they immediately start making excuses as to why they shouldn't do the business,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then they start asking all of these questions rather than do the research themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'm like, how does that even make sense? If I'm a total stranger and I'm telling you something, you could ask me anything, I could say anything to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So isn't it better for you to take the time and research it yourself? That's what I always say. It's make
Yes.
your own decision.
But
I shouldn't influence that decision.
the comparison still come, like for instance, you used to be in the banking system.
Hmm.
When we are shopping around, sometimes even to for a bank, we look at the quality of bank, like for instance the regular bank compared to a credit union.
Hmm.
We look at all these different things, and we look into it, and then we make our judgment based on the facts and the
Yeah.
truth that is being presented, and also by other people's testimony. That really
Yeah.
does plays a big factor into it, because
Exactly.
most time when we go online to shop, we look for reviews. We do that.
Exactly.
We look for reviews, and if we only see one review, we move on.
Mhm.
Right? So just to
You know, and
say,
that's not a good thing either, because
yeah,
that one person that made that bad review, you don't know what
hmm
the situation
they was
was,
peeved.
right? So you
They
have
were
to look at the
angry.
majority, right?
Hmm.
You know, you have to look at the majority. So,
Hmm.
but you know, they say don't judge a book by its cover, and
Yes.
you know, and just like you're pointing out, it's
Hmm.
really key for anyone who's considering a business to really put in that effort to do the research on their own, look at the information that is being presented, and
Hmm.
just make a decision off of that. And you know, we all have some sort of common sense to decipher.
Hmm.
We can know when something is real and when something isn't. We
Yes.
really do.
We have one of our audiences stating that they have been in this business for over 3 years, and it has been a blessing unto them. We have
Hmm.
other, guests stating that this business opportunity has been a blessing unto them with their time, flexibility. And that was leading to my next question. Can you how has this business changed your life, Miss Suzette? Because I can tell others, they're sharing their journey of how this business has transformed their lives, their family, and everyone that is around them. How has this business transformed you?
So, one of the first things that changed about me was my self confidence. We have like amazing, amazing training in our business program. And through that training, I was able to do some personal development to really look at certain things about myself and, you know, sort of rewire my mind. Sometimes we have negative thoughts without even realizing, right? And that was one of the first things that really changed for me, the self-confidence I developed. And even like I always tell people, even to like be on camera, right? It's not something I would have done prior to starting
Mm-hmm.
this business. So there's a lot of personal development that I have gained. And of course, there's a lot of financial blessings as well. I think one of the major things, one of the biggest changes that I've had in my life is that I was able to retire from my job just
Mm,
over a year ago. So,
beautiful.
and that's something that I never planned on when I started my business. I've been doing this business for 3 years, and 1 year out of that three, you know, this business has become like my main source of income. You know, and what that means for me is that I am now available 100% of the time for my kids. Like even today, my son woke up and he says, "I'm not feeling well. I don't want to go to school today." Right? If I had work to go to, I would be like in shambles. Like, what am I gonna do? Is there someone
Mm,
I can leave him with? You know, like, can I take the day off? You know, maybe I had someone's mortgage to close today. Like, how am I gonna say I can't come in to close your mortgage because I have to stay home now with my son? You know, and I
yes.
don't have that anymore. I could have easily just said to him, you know what, go back to your bed and sleep because I'm here. You know, so it's really having that time freedom and that flexibility. um, One of the reasons to why I needed more income in my life was, you know, my parents were back home in St. Vincent, aging. They have no kind of retirement fund, no pension that's coming to them. They both sort of being self-employed all their life. I think my mom just told me the other day what she paid into, you know, the social insurance or whatever that they have back there. And
Mm-hmm.
so when she stopped working, she got some small sum of money, but it was just like a lump sum, like here's this $2,000 and that's it. There's no monthly something that's coming, right? So
Yeah.
now it's on us as the kids to supply some sort of funding on a monthly basis for food and bills and everything for my aging parents. And so that was one of the reasons why I needed an income as well. And now my dad passed over a year ago now, which was a sad time, but my mom is still here. And now my mom is actually here with me in Canada. And I don't have to leave her to go to work, right?
Beautiful.
I'm at home with her, taking care of her in her golden years.
Mm.
And that's a privilege that a lot of people don't have. They're away from their loved ones, just working, working, working. And before you know it, they're gone and you don't have that precious time with them. So that's also a major benefit, like being able to just be here for my loved ones, for my kids, for my mom, for my family. It's a total blessing. It
Yeah.
is.
That is beautiful, and you still make the same point coming back again. This business has, allotted you the time freedom, the opportunity to be there for your loved ones, your son, your mom lives with you, and you don't have to be on anyone's schedule. You don't have to be on anyone's time. So whenever your kids are sick, you are here.
Yeah,
Your mom is here. You
yeah.
can take care of the business from your bedroom.
Ah, I do that
Right?
a lot. Hey, I'm wearing my pajamas still, guys. I just put a blazer on.
See? She just put a blazer over her pajamas, guys. Beautiful. Where could you do that but working from home online? So, Suzette, before we end our conversation, it has been a wonderful conversation thus far, and we can go on and on. But we know from all the interviews that we are having constantly, different people sharing their journey, different people sharing their experience, we can say that this business works. It works for stay at home moms, it works for stay at home dads, it works for anyone.
Mhm.
Would you just love to leave, just share something with the audience for those that might be interested in the business, those that would love to hear something, to just to think their ears, sometimes, but share something before we go, to let them, with our audience, for those that are listening and those that would be watching our review replay.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, people are looking for different things. So for me, it was having that time that I could still be there for my kids. But there might be some of you watching who wish you could travel the world and still earn. But because you need that income, you're tied down to the job, the 9 to 5. But this is a business that is so flexible, you can do it from anywhere. As long as you have a device and internet connection, your laptop, your cell phone. So you can travel the world and do this business. All right. It might just be that you want to have that dream home, like, because that's one of my reasons, right? And you're
Mm,
saving for that deposit and you need something extra. This could be the opportunity for that as well. So this is really a legitimate opportunity for anyone who's looking to earn extra income. You don't have to be like me and fully replace your income with it, but if that's what you want, it can totally do that as well,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, by no means is this a get rich quick scheme. This doesn't happen overnight. It's not magical where as soon as you decide, okay, I'm going to do an online business, you're going to start earning tons of money and everything is going to be. You have to put in that work and you have to be willing. Like I said, one of the first things I said earlier when I was talking about the benefits is personal development. This is going
Mm-hmm.
to give you that opportunity to develop yourself, to give yourself the capabilities, the knowledge that you need to actually run a business online and earn from it. So you have to be willing to learn. But so if you're that person, if you're looking for income, more income, whether it's you just want another income source or you don't have one now and you need something, this is for you. If you're willing to learn, you're coachable. this is also for you, right? If you're going to be putting in the time that's needed to develop yourself, this is for you. Because let's face it, it can't be for everyone, right? It is
Exactly.
not for everyone. And it
Mm-hmm.
does take um, commitment. And so if you're that type of person where once you start something, you can commit to it and you're willing to learn and build and grow and you understand it's going to take time, then definitely check this out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because the program that we offer, it works. Two things that people always want to know before they start a business: am I going to make any money? Yes, you are going to be making money. Is it legal? Is it legitimate? Yes, it's legal. It's very legitimate. Having to pay more taxes than I would like, right? You do wherever you watch. If you're from the Caribbean or if you're in North America, wherever you're watching from, you have to have legal status in your country in order to do this business. That's how legitimate this business is.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, so yeah, it's legitimate. It's legal, and
Global.
you're definitely gonna make money from it.
Mm-hmm.
So, what else do you want to know,
It's
right?
global.
Thousands of people all over the world are
Mm-hmm.
doing this business and having success. I'm in a community, where is it now? 150 something thousand people. And
Mm-hmm.
every day I'm seeing people paying off their car loans, paying off their student loans, paying off their mortgages, building mansions back in their home country. I just saw a lady post an image of a home that she's building back in Africa. And she was
Yes.
like, before we couldn't go home and take our kids because we didn't
Mm-hmm.
have a proper accommodation there to take them. And this is me, 6 months I've been building this mansion back home so that I can take my kids there. You're seeing people are doing all of these things thanks to this business, right? Relationships are being saved. Let's not forget about that, because a lot of times finances put a lot of strain on relationships and you find
Mm-hmm.
yourself arguing back and forth
Mm-hmm.
with your partner. I've had a lady who is a stay-at-home mom, and her thing is that she felt like she wasn't contributing to the household, right?
Mm-hmm.
This also gives you that opportunity to have something else besides taking care of the kids and doing something around the house. You have something else of your own that you're building and that you're growing with. So you feel, a sense of purpose, right? So it also does that. So
Mm-hmm.
this business does a lot for a lot of people all over the world.
Yes.
And I know I always say it's okay to be skeptical and it's okay to be even scared, because it's something new and it's something different and it's probably something that you've never thought about doing before. But like Kim said earlier, you have to look at the evidence as well. If so many people are doing this business and they're saying it's a good business, right? It can be a good business for you as well. So you have to really just take the time, check it out. We always offer our free information workshop webinars twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We always have the replays available. So even if you can't make the time, you just reach out to one of us and you can get that replay. You look at that, and that's the starting point to what could be like an amazing rest of your life when it comes to your finances and time with your family and all those precious moments that we tend to miss sometimes. You can just take control and just have it all, literally. Yeah.
Yes. Right. That everything that Suzette said, it is true and more. So, as you know, she just said, I would just like to add one thing. This is your business. Whatever you put in, the time, the energy, the effort, anything that you desire to put in your business, it is yours. Your business bloom, it grow, whatever it is considered, what you put into it is what you are going to get out. Okay,
Mm.
guys. So thank you so much, Miss Suzette Williams, for giving us and gracing us with your time and sharing your journey with us. We do appreciate it. We thank all our business partners and all our friends that is joining us today and that was live with us today. We thank you for supporting us and we say welcome. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And we say thank you again. And as we go, we say goodbye from Trinidad and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.